For men, testosterone levels are just tanking. So it's like, first is the question of why. And obviously I have a lot of ideas: sedentary behavior, poor nutrition introduced into our environment. So, we're consuming about a credit card's worth of microplastics and nanoplastics. Every month they found microplastics in every organ, from men's genitalia to the placenta to the liver. And there's a direct relationship between your gut and your brain. We are dealing with unprecedented levels of mental health issues. So if you feed your body junk, you can expect to perform like junk, feel like junk. But the thing about chronic conditions, specifically here in the US, is that doesn't happen overnight. That's the product of the last decade of your life. Waiting for someone to come and fix the food system for you is not going to help you right now, and it's not going to help you in your future, and it's not going to help you reduce the risk of chronic disease.
Not to make excuses, but so many people growing up nowadays have it quite difficult because they're surrounded by things like TikTok, which is so addictive. And when that's given to you from a young age, you're immediately put into a pattern of addiction, and you're stuck in this idea of what people call brain rot before you can really even fully develop your brain. So I was wondering how you think our usage of phones and technology fits into this wider picture, which you've drawn out for us.
Absolutely. Well, there's certainly quite a bit of research around, mental health and children with phones, right? Seeing sharp spikes with the introduction of social media and, reduced feelings of well-being for adolescent. I think, of course, social media can be interesting. It can be a way to meet new people around the world. You can learn a lot, but I think the way that we need to be using social media should be very intentional. And I talk about this often. I only follow a few hundred people. Most of them I know, or they're teaching me something really valuable. I certainly don't go out of my way to follow people that make me feel in any way, self-conscious or inadequate. I think it doesn't make sense that, people are following individuals that they constantly feel bad when they're looking at their pages, or they're influencing them to do something that's not as healthy, or they're not teaching them something. So I would encourage everyone to really just unfollow people that don't make you feel good. If it's creating anxiety and stress in your life, or you even feel addicted to it for some reason, then you should have the self-control to just limit those things. That can look like, timers on the phone, not looking at your phone right away when you wake up. I mean, that's great because then you actually have a chance to set your mind before the day sets it for you. Again, it's like, do you want to move mindfully through life, have a plan, have a reason, and actually get what you deserve? Or do you want to move mindlessly through life, whereas you're just dealing with every situation? Your brain is being influenced constantly by what you see on the internet. Like, that is not the most optimal way of living, in my opinion. So without a doubt, the science proves it out that social media is definitely doing harm in terms of mental health, especially in adolescence, and that the addiction is very real. So I think that we have to be responsible for ourselves as adults and put those, guardrails around ourselves.
We sort of have the opportunity or the luck to have existed in a world kind of before social media. And so we've grown up with our brains able to develop without this kind of constant dopamine, and to interact with the real world straight away. And many people in the younger generation now are coming through, and by the time they're reaching 10, 11, they're already getting bombarded with all of this. What do you think would be a good approach? Do you think, as in from a personal, not a legislative perspective, maybe as parents, we should be doing? Do you think we should be seeking to exclude children from social media until a certain age, or do you think it's more about limitation and management?
I'll just speak to what I plan on doing, because this is, so individual. And of course, parenting is a very touchy subject, but first of all, I'm going to have many, many guardrails around what my children will be consuming in all forms, from food to their exposures, and most certainly social media. I mean, my husband and I have already spoken about it. We probably won't be giving any social media access till at least 16. And I think, obviously, that's the best approach. I think I want to allow my children to have a childhood, play outside, be outdoors, not have the pressure or the stress or the addiction of what did someone say about me online. That's outside of like, the fact that some odd things can go on the internet with children. But I mean, just from the sheer perspective of what's most optimal for their health and their brain development, I will be holding off on social media with my kids until they're 16.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I didn't get a phone or anything of the sort until a lot later in my life, which I think benefited me in many ways. But I suppose someone who's listening to this podcast who might in some sense feel, oh, there's so many things I need to improve on, might also, as an immediate response, also say something like, well, how am I supposed to enjoy my life, for example? Mm-hmm. How am I supposed to, live my life if my friends are going out till 1 a.m, but I need to be asleep at 10 p.m.? What would your response be to someone with that pushback?
Well, I think it starts with your perspective, right? Because many people have said this to me throughout my life, like many people, because I go to bed early and I don't drink and I don't do this. And, I don't partake in many restaurant trips because if the restaurant's not healthy enough, whatever it may be. Many people have asked me that, but I am so happy. I don't perceive fun to be drinking. I perceive fun to be like enjoyable conversations with people that I love. Working out is fun to me. So it's all about perspective. But waking up feeling amazing, like jumping out of bed, excited about what I'm going to get to do that day, that is fun. That is an optimal life to me. Waking up feeling hungover or like no energy or I didn't get proper sleep or whatever it may be, not an optimal life to me. So I think looking at the perspective and maybe the social conditioning that we've undergone as a society to say, oh, to let loose or have fun, you have to have alcohol or this or that. I don't think that's true. So think about what you want your life to look like and what habits the person that has that life would have. So that can be really helpful. And then also it doesn't mean that you can't still do things. Like as an example, and I'm on the very extreme spectrum, right? Like most people, you'll be fine with just like updating your diet, getting high quality sleep and going out with your friends from time to time every now and then. I don't go out at all late, but I have friends over my home where I know what I've cooked in my food and how it's been prepared. And everybody knows Kayla's going to bed early. So, we're probably going to come over at 5:30 for dinner and be gone by 7:30. So but I still have those incredibly special moments of enjoying a meal with friends or, grabbing an organic coffee at the Air One grocery store or whatever, down the street. There's still ways to really enjoy life, let's say, but it's all about what do you define as enjoying life? Is it what we've been told to think that enjoying life looks like, or is it something else? And then you can still certainly partake in doing fun things with people.
Do you want to frolic freely at the beach, hairless both upstairs and downstairs? Tired of being left bloody, stumbling and alone because of a bad razor? Then you know what to do. Get yourself a Manscaped. With the new Beard and Balls bundle, you can stay fresh all over. Use the discount code LOW for 20% off now. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that short clip of our episode with Kayla Barnes. If you want to see the full thing, you can click right here. Please like and subscribe as well because it really helps the channel and we got loads more content just like this coming. See you guys next time.